Hi there guys and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the VIcki Boutin design team and I want to show you a little bit of what I'm creating with my junk journal. As you can see, we all receive junk journals with all the inserts and they're beautiful. So I thought that I wanted to start with creating a cover page for what I think I'm going to just use as really what is called a junk journal. Something of an art journal, a diary, some scrapbooking, some notes. But let me show you what I'm doing. I decided to use one of the mixed media inserts and I'm just simply stamping one of these little script words that come in one of the stamp sets. And I'm using actually dark gray ink. I'm using archival ink because I'm gonna actually add a lot of media on top of it. The first thing I'm gonna add is yeso. And I'm prepping this because I know I'm gonna be adding, I'm not gonna add water actually, but I'm gonna play around with some mediums on it. And one of the things that I decided is that I wanted to distress the page. So as you're gonna see, I am applying yes. So I usually use gift card to apply it or a palette knife, but I usually go one single way. This way I'm going different ways. I'm scraping the yeso, I'm applying heavy in other places so that I have different levels, like something like a texture background. And as you're gonna see, I'm just picking colors to add onto the page and I'm playing with the art colors and I'm using usually more of the warm palette. I just had this idea that I wanted a combination, sort of like a sunset. And once I just pick my colors, I'm just scribbling onto the page. And then I'm using a baby wipe just to actually diffuse the colors. I'm borrowing this idea for this is one of the ways I actually use on my Bible journaling. So I thought that I could also create it, use it here, sort of like a art journal background. So as you see, I'm not even being careful. I'm just making sure that all the colors are dispersed and I'm going softly first and I'm going to keep adding color as we go along. And as you're going to see, you're going to start seeing all the distress and the lines that I created with the yeso in the background. So you're going to see that there's some places there's a lot more saturation of the color, and that's just because there's yeso and there's some resist onto the the art crayon is stuck in the little grooves that the yeso created, and I'm okay with it. That's one of the things that I wanted to create. I wanted some distress look to it, and I'm just adding little pieces of a little amounts of crayon because I know it's gonna get distressed. I know with the wipe you actually take some of it away. So I suggest if you're gonna replicate this, you use a wipe that is not completely white. Now, if I keep adding color this, I'm still taking away a little bit with the wipe. So one of the things that I decided to use, and actually to bring more texture to the page, is to actually seal the color. And I'm using some of the matte gel acrylic just to seal the page. And once I seal it, I let it dry for a little bit. And my idea was I wanted to add something to the top. So I'm using this hanging chains that stamp to create this look at the top. And you're gonna see that at the end I'm not liking it that much. And I'm letting it aside to dry. Once that's completely dry, again, I'm going with the crayons, and as you're gonna see, I'm using more crayon, more pigment, just because I want to add more color to it. I want to bring a lot of those colors, those warm colors. Like I said, I was inspired by a sunset, and I thought, like, the colors from purple to these deep pinks to these oranges to yellows. I love that. I love sunset and sunrises, so I wanted to recreate something. And you're gonna see I'm just gonna start playing. I'm adding layers, and what I'm loving is, and you cannot see it that well, is that you're actually starting to see now the lines of the brush lines, but also the color is getting deeper. Now, like I said, this is new to me, so I'm actually make mistakes too. And the more color that I keep adding, I did not like the look of the chains on top. I think that I should have stamped it at the beginning so it would behind a few layers. It would look better, like it would look like a shadow, like the letters at the bottom do. So my solution was to add a little bit more so just to dim a little bit of the darkness of the chains, and I'm just adding color on top of it, just to, like I said, trying to not hide it, but just I want it to be like a really soft shadow. So you're gonna see that I'm playing with the crayons, and it's so easy. You don't need an art background for this. All you have to do is scribble a little bit and just with the wipe lightly, rub it a little bit just to diffuse the color in a way. And that's it. And it's super simple. And I put it aside to dry. And then I just wanted, like I said, it was all about shadow. And because it's a sunset, I thought of a sun. And the new stamp set comes with all the circles, and one looks like a sunburst. And I thought it was perfect for this. So I put some gold ink, and I'm just stamping it. Like I said, I started with the darker color in the middle, and then just stamped around, trying to get just shadows. And then I'm stamping the blossom to awesome sentiment from one of the stamps in the middle with black ink, and then just a few butterflies, the same thing. As you see, I keep a scrap paper on the side, and that's where I clean some of the ink or any excess. I try my colors there because it's always good to have something. And then just some butterflies, just is a shadow. And you're going to see it right now. I'm showing you what it looks like, and then I'm going to show you the second part of this picture. And this is, you cannot, to me, you cannot have a junk journal without having a cover to it. My choice was to actually decoupage, in a way, a piece of paper from the 12 by 12 paper pad onto the cover. And for that, I'm using the gel matte acrylic, sorry. I'm butchering this, I'm sorry. And I just literally decoupage it. So I add a little bit with a brush to the cover, put the paper in place. Actually, I was very careful. I used a credit card just to scrape out any bubbles. And then I put my the gel on top of it just to seal it. And I let it aside to dry for a bit. Once I had that done, I had this idea that I wanted to haze some of the background paper. I love this paper, it's one of my favorite papers, but I wanted to add some sort of mixed media to it because I wanted to, make it messy, make it a little bit more colorful. So I used some yeso and a brush just to haze a little bit, and you're gonna see that I spread it and I use my fingers and everything. Once that was set and let's set to dry, I'm using the stencil brush and one of the new stencils. And I'm just playing with the art crayons. And I'm picking, my choice was to go sort of like I was thinking of a rainbow, like a gradation of color. So I'm starting with teal and I'm just scribbling the teal crayon and you picking up the color with the stencil brush. And these brushes are great. They fit nicely to your hand, and all you have to do is pick the color from the palette and then just move it onto the butterfly. It's that simple. And as you see, I started with some teal and I'm using to the yellow, and all I'm doing is I'm not cleaning the brush in between because I want, like I said, I want a gradation of the colors. And if you do it this way, the colors mix in the brush, so when you put it onto the butterflies in this case, it actually, you have a combination of all the colors. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want it just to have one butterfly yellow. I wanted them to like slowly change into, go from teal to pink. So I wanted the gradation, as I'm saying it properly, of color. Once I was done with the cool colors, in a way, like I'm starting to get into the warm colors, I decided to clean my brush a little. And one of the things you're gonna find is that the big brush is not to cover big spaces. It just covers, it gives you a lighter finish onto the stencil. But the smaller brush is actually picks up more color, so you can actually add more color to one single place. It's like, think of it as a concentrated version of the color. Just because the bristles are tighter together, it picks up more color and delivers more color to one single spot. And as you can see, all I'm doing right now is just picking colors and moving them. And I've been graduating from, like I said, the teal onto yellow, onto right now I'm red, and I'm going into the pinks. And that's it. And it's so simple. This takes no time. You don't need an art background for this. Actually, very, very simple. All you have to do again is scribble the crayon either on the palette or on the mat, and that's it. And then pick it up with the brush and then rub it on top of the stencil. That's it. And I like the way it looks. To me, it looks like graffiti, and I love it. And but I thought that I wanted to bring some of the gold and continue those scribble lines there in the background paper. So I'm using a little bit of the gold glaze and the scribble stencil just to add a little bit of gold. Like I said before, I love gold. So that's it, guys. And then I just wanted to add a title to this, and I was thinking of putting junk journal, and I thought it was so, I don't know, so I went with something in my native language in Spanish, and I put art, and that's it. That's all it took. I love the result. Like you see right now, I'm showing you what I created. This is the texture that comes from using the brush and distressing the yeso onto my little cover for the entire junk journal. And this is the junk journal and what I use, and I love it. I hope you try it. If you have any questions, let me know. Mixed media is simple, it's fun, it's supposed to be fun. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to help you with anything. And thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to check out Vicki's stuff. It's great. And we'll be back next week for a little bit more of inspiration with mixed media. So take care.